Hey everyone, welcome to Two Guys One Fantasy with your hosts Brandon Kluge and Tyler Richardson, where we give you the most mediocre fantasy football advice, along with NFL news, updates, scores, and standings. What? Are you going to look them in their dead eyes, or are you going to introduce the show?
Yep.
Oh. You startled me. I thought you turned into
A vampire.
Well, no.
A bat. Batman.
What? You're just saying things that...
Superman.
No, that doesn't even
Spider-Man.
make sense. See, Marvel's definitely going to sue us now.
I only said one Marvel character.
Just Disney. They're going to go crazy, and they're going to sue us for Batman and Superman.
Episode 8.
Here it comes. Thursday night review and the weekend preview.
And then some other good stuff.
Two Guys One Fantasy. He's him, I'm me.
They already know this.
Yeah, but I like introducing the title. It's fancy.
I know, but let's see.
What?
You say it in the intro.
Okay.
We say it now. That's 3 times in one episode.
We have to get it into their heads.
I think they know.
Do they?
Yeah.
CT, do you know?
He definitely knows.
He does.
I think Javi commented, though.
I think he did too.
Did he ask a question? Let's
We'll
see.
do it at the end, but we'll check.
It wasn't a question. He did ask
No, he had a question.
Thanks. Javi.
We're slightly in shambles tonight again.
Typical.
We practiced volleyball because our volleyball team rules.
Because we have to win.
And then we had to go eat, and then we had to rush over here and kids. And I'm telling you right now, a podcast for fun is still hard to do when you have a family. We need to just get rid of them. What do you think?
No, I think if we have somebody step up and edit, it wouldn't be as hard.
Yes.
So, thanks for nothing, guys. I think I have to sneeze.
Uh-oh. Oh, here it comes.
Nope, it went away.
Oh. I'm partially to blame for that, by the way. I don't edit at all.
It's tiring.
I
need somebody to step up. One of you guys. Thanks.
Is
Javi.
it? Is
Maybe
it?
Javi.
I don't think it's... Is it more tedious than it is hard?
Yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah.
It's just doing it and then posting and...
Yeah. Let me thank you again. You do all the work. You have the setup that makes it easier for you to do it, but that doesn't mean it's always easy for you to do it.
The setup it makes it easier.
Yeah.
2 computers.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Thursday review.
Here we go. Enough of that mushy stuff.
Giants and San Fran.
Oh, yeah. The results you were expecting, they happened. But the journey might have been a little bit more different than you were expecting.
Brock Purdy
Yeah.
started off a little shaky, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Missing some throws. Typical, though, from a pick number 252 of 252.
I mean,
so it is what it is.
as well as he played, he's not Superman. He's going to make mistakes sometimes.
Yeah. Other than that, the second half did pretty good. Christian McCaffrey
Of course.
went off as usual.
Yep.
Deebo Samuel, he was by himself without Ayuk. He went off.
Yes, he did. Even George Kittle had a fairly good night.
And Elijah Mitchell, backup running back, decent night as well.
Mm-hmm.
42 rush yards. Please stop. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Some catches.
Yes.
Not too bad. Other side of the ball.
Ooh, here we go.
Daniel Jones. I don't know what they're doing. They don't have any receivers. What do we expect?
Yeah,
And
so-
they didn't have a running back. So
I felt bad for him. Like I said before, the journey might have been a little bit different than expected because, in all honesty, San Fran played a lot slower than they usually do. And the Giants, for about 3.5 quarters, were sticking around. They were trying to anyway. But it was less about how San Fran was playing bad. And it was more methodical than it was just blowing the other team away. But the Giants really tried to stay in the game. I do have to give them credit. It didn't look good, but they were really trying. I have a problem with Daniel Jones, though.
What's that?
So they said it in the middle of the game, and after they said it, I was like, oh, I'm going to kind of pay attention to that because I actually like that breakdown. You don't have any wide receivers.
0.
So you're going to have your best option is Darren Waller. But you have to realize on 3rd and 3 or longer, there's a good chance he's going to get double teamed because he's your best option. Why wasn't he focusing on throwing to Darren Waller on 1st and 2nd downs more often?
Well, he tried to get the ball to him 7 times and only got there 3. They had good coverage on Waller. It looked like to me.
I think the first pass that went his way was almost before halftime.
Yeah, I think it was late, and then he tried to get in the ball, but
And I'm not saying
then too late.
I see what you're saying. They were probably covering him most of the night.
If he's the only person on the team,
yeah,
they were covering his ass.
I don't know. I just feel like Daniel Jones wasn't. I don't think he's a terrible quarterback, but I think his decision making on sometimes you have to let your best player try to make a play instead of just ignoring him.
Yeah, but I didn't think he had any time either.
Yeah, he was getting. I mean, San Fran's defense was coming after him.
Yeah,
He didn't run. He didn't run as much as he could have, though. Like he was pushed out of the pocket quite a bit, but he was trying to stick to throwing the ball. So maybe him utilizing his legs would have helped them a little bit more. But in general, the Giants, I think they're still a pretty good team, but they're just dealing with a lot of injuries and going against, in my opinion, Super Bowl favorite 49ers. Even on a bad night, the 49ers, quote unquote, a bad night, they still looked dominant.
They did what they had to do.
Yeah.
But they were able to go up and down the field like it was no problem.
Yeah.
Defense did fine.
Like, I really thought it was going to be more of a blowout, more like, oh, man, they're scoring left and right. But it was more like they were staying on the field for like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes and then scoring. And it was really methodical.
Yeah. They had 3 field goals. But So you take those field goals away and add them touchdowns, then it's a 40-point game.
Yeah.
So it very well could have been, but the Giants, I think, they stood their ground in the first half.
Yeah.
In the red zone for sure. They didn't make it super easy, but
No.
they gave them a tough time. And then I think the second half it was kind of just San Fran got down there. But same thing. They still stopped them in the second half.
Yeah.
They got 2 field goals in the third quarter, so they were stopping them. It was just they couldn't stop them from getting onto their side of the field.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference between teams that are – so you have really good teams, and there are good teams that are struggling, and you almost want to panic, and then there are good teams that struggle, but they still make it look good. San Fran, I don't think that was their best game last night, but they still made it look a part of the plan. Meanwhile, I think teams like Philly, Kansas City, Baltimore, they might struggle against a team they're not supposed to struggle against, and they'll look really bad doing it, even if they win. And I think that's the difference between how good San Fran is and how good, Philly, Kansas City is, and those other teams.
Yeah, definitely pretty complete, in my opinion. There's a couple other teams I think are pretty complete too.
They were getting pretty chippy during the game too. Did you notice that? I mean, Trent Williams and the defensive lineman for the Giants, they were just going back and forth like for a good half of the game.
Yeah.
Nothing like the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game where they were trying to murder each other. But there was a little bit of chippiness going on.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe maybe that was helping the Giants.
That chippiness?
Just chirp a little
attitude?
bit. I know it usually helps some teams. Just chirp.
Again, chirp, 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 chirp.
Yeah. Pretty decent game, though. But yeah, San Fran. I mean, they continue to do what they do. I needed Jake Moody to not kick 3 field goals for fantasy wise.
He only got like 10 points though.
Still,
I mean, that's pretty average for a kicker. It's not like he went off.
I don't know. I needed less.
You needed less.
I needed like 0.
He needed
Would
like
have been
0.
the best case scenario for me.
Well, when we get to pick'ems, I got a surprise for you. Alan wouldn't know because he doesn't listen.
That's true. He doesn't. Maybe he will now. Over, under
Oh, shit.
results. I've got you marked here. Let's see. Christian McCaffrey. Over or under 81 rush yards. You took the under. And
He got like
this man
84 or 85, didn't
85 rush yards.
he? Damn, I was so close. So close.
Daniel Jones. Over or under 1.5 interceptions.
Said over.
You said over. He threw 1.
And you know what? It was exactly when I thought he was going to throw interceptions, except he only threw one, except 2.
And then the curveball, the punts, over or under 6.5.
Yes, I said over.
And you said over,
Mm-hmm.
and there were 9 total punts.
That saved me,
So you went 1 and 2.
which puts me at 3 and 3,
I
correct?
think that puts you at 3 and 3.
It was, damn you, Christian McCaffrey. So close.
He did. 4 yards. He's like, how can I screw this guy's over under up? And he did it,
He did.
which is weird.
Which is weird. Oh, man, who would have thought that Christian McCaffrey
he's
could
not-
get over?
He's not known for that. That's I personally would have taken the over, but that's me.
I mean, look how close it was. It was by 4 yards.
Hey, 4 yards is 4 yards. 4 yards is the difference between 4 touchdowns and 4 field goals.
What? What?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. All right.
But not too bad. 3 and 3 is not bad.
Agreed. Moving on from Thursday night, I'll get you back with your over-unders next Thursday.
I'll go 3-0.
Oh, you calling it?
Calling it.
Oh,
Calling my shot.
shit. Okay.
I don't even know who we have. We'll worry about that next week.
We're getting on to our weekend preview.
I think we got 2 Monday night games again,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Oh. Are you sure? You seem
I don't
upset.
know.
You want me
It's
to
a
talk
little-
to someone about
Well,
it?
it's a little if you got to go back and forth between the channels.
No, I just
I mean,
choose one.
I guess I don't have to anymore. YouTube TV does a little side-by-side thing,
Oh,
so I can watch both at the same time.
okay.
Still, lame.
I just choose one, and then the one I'm more interested in, and then I kind of take cliff notes on the other one.
Yeah, I think
Was
we got 2 interesting then, though. But first, we've got Pittsburgh versus at Las Vegas.
Oh, that sucks that this is one of the Monday night games because this is the one I wouldn't be watching.
Yeah. Well, this is Sunday night.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
This one.
Are they good? Are they not good? Are they
Both
awful?
teams. Yeah.
Both quarterbacks struggling just a smidge. Both running backs 1,000% struggling.
Yes.
Um,
Receivers.
receivers are doing about the same right now.
The only 2 receivers except one on each team that are standing out, and not like from a superhero standpoint, but they're the best thing on that team is George Pickens for the Steelers and Devontae Adams for Vegas.
Yep. 2 leading receivers on both teams. These teams got to figure out their run game.
I will say this. If there was one saving grace for the Steelers that they finally tweaked, and it's like, all right, I guess it's our responsibility, it's their defense.
Yeah. That's all they got for now.
Yeah.
We'll see if it changes or not. But yes, defense looks pretty good. I haven't seen too much of the Raiders, so I can't say if their defense is good or not.
I think it's
They allowed a lot of points last week, though.
against.
But they also stopped the Broncos for the most part. So
Yeah, but is that one of those situations where the Broncos, even though I think they are playing better, is it one of those situations where, they're still shaking the rust off that bad season?
I don't know,
Or
did they shake the rust off against Washington too?
I like Washington.
I don't know.
I like Washington. I think they're a little sneaky sneak. You know what I'm saying? But it's also a division game. Division games are always weirder.
Yeah.
Is Jimmy G hurt? I don't
think so.
I don't think so. If I had to guess, I really think Vegas is going to struggle more out of the two. Oh, breaking news.
No, it's baseball.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
If I had to choose, not necessarily who I think is going to win, but who I think is going to struggle the most in this game, I do think it's going to be Vegas.
Yeah, I think if Pittsburgh can find their offense,
They're fine.
they'll be all right with their
Yeah.
defense. I think Vegas needs to work on a few more things, but no panic yet. They're still 1-1.
Max Crosby's not. So TJ Watt came out their last game and killed it.
Yep.
So their defense is playing on all cylinders, while Max Crosby, who is almost going to be my defensive player of the year, I think he's doing okay, but he's not leading the charge for that defense as well as I think a lot of people think they were going to. Am I going to sneeze now?
He needs
Goodness.
he needs more. I don't know. He might need some more help on that front line.
Yeah.
Crosby. He's only got 1 sack. Shoot, he's only got 12 total tackles.
Yeah, that's not great.
You'd expect a little more, I feel like, mostly in the sack department. But if he's got no supporting cast, he's not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, I think that defense is missing a lot of pieces. They keep on getting rid of their best defensive players, like through the seasons, through the years. They keep on Didn't they have Chandler Jones? I want to say they had Chandler Jones at one point in time. I know they had Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
And they're just like getting rid of all these freaking awesome defensive players. And I was like, well, that's why your team sucks, is because your defense, it's like one man deep.
Oh, he's with the Raiders now.
Oh, he is?
But he's on the non-football illness list.
So he's not going to play.
That's not a good list you want to be on.
Gotcha. I knew there was
something's going off.
It must have been in my ear that he was playing with them, but he hasn't been playing.
Because it was with, I knew he had Arizona. I just couldn't remember if that was.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
Yeah.
so, yeah, that defense needs more help. The offense is, Devontae Adams needs
They
more
have
help.
good players on offense. I think they need to switch to that kid at quarterback, the rookie, Aiden O'Connell.
They might have to. Jimmy G may be a little too conservative for what that offense needs to do.
Granted, the kid looked good in preseason, which doesn't always say anything.
Yeah.
You never know. But could be worth a shot if Vegas doesn't, I don't know.
Is
produce
Josh
some
McDaniel
points.
the problem?
I don't know. Could be it too. They've only put up a total of 27 points in 2 weeks, so who knows?
I think Josh McDaniel could be on the hot seat a little bit, depending on how this season goes.
Well,
Because he doesn't have a proven head coach resume, and it
realistically,
hasn't really gone well.
any coach whose team is under 500 is always on the freaking hot seat.
That's true.
So,
Mike Tomlin won't be. They're going to keep him until he retires, which they should, because Mike Tomlin's a
he's only
genius.
had one losing season.
No, he hasn't had one.
0. He's had 0.
He has zero.
You can't put somebody on the hot seat if they're not losing.
Exactly. But I think the Steelers are the better team. But it could be depending how it goes, it could be a really not interesting game to watch. It could be a mess.
Or the Raiders could just surprise us.
That could happen too.
You never know.
But I think I favor the Steelers a little bit.
First game Monday.
I
Philly
apologize
and
for
Tampa.
the sniffles. I'm
Unbelievable.
freaking sniffing over here.
Philly and Tampa. I think will be a good game.
I'm actually excited about that game.
Both Monday night games are pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, on paper. But Philly and Tampa, I don't know. Tampa's surprising me. I didn't think they'd be 2-0. I don't know if anybody thought they would be 2-0. So good on them.
Good for Baker Mayfield.
They've allowed 17 points per game. So then you got the Eagles coming in, averaging about
20-ish?
29 points per game-ish. But their defense has allowed a lot more. So about, math, 24 points per game.
Math.
Which the Bucks can definitely score more than 24 points.
Yes.
I don't know. I think Tampa's got a shot. That's for sure.
I think bing, 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 bing. Hot take. I think Tampa wins. I'll tell you why. Tampa right now is a surprise. I don't think anyone was expecting this team to play this well. I think they're the best team that Philly will play against within the first 3 weeks. And I think the struggles that you're seeing from Philly's offense, I think, show up in a way where they're magnified against the best defense they've played in the first 3 weeks.
Baker's looks good so far. 490 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
He's angry.
And then he's got Mike Evans, 12 catches, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Beautiful.
Which is just slightly better than Devontae Smith. Oh, I guess it's 50 yards, so that's a lot.
Yeah.
Running game for the Eagles is better, though.
Well, yeah. They have a
So we'll see what the rush defense does in Tampa. If Swift is still hot this week or not.
we'll see.
Because it could be.
I love Swift, so I don't hope he has a bad game. I just think it's the best defense that Philly has played.
Yeah. I think it'll be a close game. I hope it's a close game.
I think it will be.
Maybe not like a shootout, like a no 49-49.
No.
I still think you get it. If both defenses are still allowing 24, 25 points, whatever it is,
Yeah.
or 17 for Tampa, whatever it was. So I think you're going to still be a little low. I'm thinking it's got to be like 24-21 kind of game.
I could see where both defenses start pushing the opposite's offense to struggle a little bit, do a couple things that are outside of the box. And then it becomes a shootout, not like you said, where it's like boom, touchdown, boom, touchdown. Yeah. More like, oh, we got to shoot out, like we got to push past this defense as best as we can, maybe 4th and 1 situations. Like, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, I think, is just – you'll never hear me say that I think he's the best quarterback in the league. No. But I do think that he gets a lot of hate, and he's out there proving people wrong, and he wants to be that quarterback on that team.
So far, so good for Baker.
Yeah.
See if they keep it up. One of these teams will be 3-0.
Oh, that makes it more interesting, too.
That'll be good. I mean, shoot. Who knows? Actually, the NFC South has 3 teams at 2-0. Fun fact.
It would be what? Dallas?
South,
sorry. Tampa, Atlanta.
And New Orleans.
And New Orleans is 2-0?
Yeah.
Oof. I mean, if I had to choose a team that's not going to be 2-0 by the end of the weekend, we'll see, though. Atlanta's playing pretty well this year, too.
So far, so good.
Is it their defense?
I don't know what it is. I think they're just on a high.
Just hanging around?
Yeah.
Okay.
8:15 game.
Yes.
Eastern Standard Time. Rams and Cincinnati.
This is it, folks. This is where we find out if we need to panic or not.
Nope. I don't think so.
Well,
I think the Bengals are losing, and here's why.
so panic.
No.
Oh.
You don't have Joe Burrow. I don't think Joe Burrow's going to play.
Oh, I guess there is a little asterisk. If he doesn't play.
No. The asterisk is not there.
No, I'm not saying about the win or lose. I'm talking about the panic.
Okay.
If
With the
he doesn't play.
Yeah. If he doesn't play. Said he was in practice today, but they don't think he's going to play still.
Be smart.
And the issue with that is they've got Jake Browning, which he's a backup, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the issue.
No.
The biggest issue for me is the only quarterback that they will have as of right now on the roster is Jake Browning. Now, I think Joe Mixon can throw some punches, so maybe he can throw a football. Let him chuck it. The running backs know how to throw some punches.
Yeah, they do.
I guess he was throwing the football at practice earlier today. They were like,
Joe Mixon was?
They were like, just start him.
He's not running it very well, so he's running average, but as a top tier running back, he needs to do better.
He's got about 4 yards per carry though, at least.
Okay.
115 rush yards, which is better than Kyren Williams on the Rams, who went off last week. But
Well, he only played like one game, didn't he? He didn't go crazy.
He pretty much took the majority of the work
in the first game.
Week 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
no shit. Okay.
It's Cam Akers.
Like I said, sit him.
He put up 52 yards against the Seahawks, and then against the Rams, he put up 52. So
that's not bad.
Consistency is key. Get you another 52 here.
Not one over and not one under.
Joe Mixon has not reached the end zone on the ground yet, though.
That's what worries me. That's what always worries me about Joe Mixon. It's not about, for fantasy purposes, it's not about how many yards he gets. He just never seems to find the end zone.
So they got to find a way. I don't know if they will if Joe Burrow's not playing.
Is there any way that Cincinnati wins if Joe Burrow doesn't play?
I mean, yeah, it's the NFL. You never know.
Yeah.
If they somehow get Jamar Chase, who is less than 100 yards for the season.
Yeah.
Which nobody would have thought. He's at 70 with no touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think no matter who's playing quarterback, you got to get Jamar Chase involved.
Yeah. And I think it's smart, regardless if he wants to play or if he's cleared to play, Joe Burrow should not play this week. It's clearly affecting the way he plays the first 2 weeks. He needs to sit down, relax at least for a week because he ain't winning games the way he's playing now.
Yeah.
So I think it sucks. You don't want to put yourself in a hole because you took your awesome quarterback out. But at the same time, you're risking him further injury or just him playing at the lowest ability he can if you're just going to keep on playing him.
Yeah. I think he came back too soon.
Yeah.
I think I would have rather still been 0-2 without a quarterback and then him be healthy and come back maybe for this game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe two more weeks would have been fine. But
yeah.
He's a competitor. If he felt like he could go, he wants to be out there.
Yeah.
Which, understandable.
I'm not
especially after getting that paycheck.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he feels like
he has to earn it.
I got to give these fans
a
reason to know that I earned this money.
Yeah. But now they're in a tough situation where now he has to sit and you're already in the hole.
Right.
When you could have just kind of came out of that hole while giving him that time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you live and you learn. I mean, they wanted he's a top paid freaking quarterback. Yeah. I mean, no one wants to be like, oh, no, we're not going to play him. Yeah. I mean, I can understand it. But it just sucks because you know that team is a lot better than what they're doing right now.
Right. For sure.
The Rams, on the other hand, I don't think they're great, but I think they're kind of surprising.
Yeah, I think
Nakua.
I think when Cooper comes back, I think they're going to be pretty freaking good.
You think so?
I mean, they're fine now.
Yeah.
And they got a rookie wide receiver going off. So you just
Yeah.
add Cooper Cup, healthy Cooper Cup,
Mm-hmm.
to the mix, and I think it just opens that field up.
There's one player, I mentioned it last week a little bit. I think there's one player that can outrun Anthony Richardson for offensive rookie of the
Yeah,
year.
so far it's this guy.
Yeah. Nakua he's that guy.
No Anthony this week, so he's going to get more there, which it is what it is. I'd rather a
Yeah.
healthy quarterback than
That's smart.
offensive rookie of the year.
Plus he's a rookie, so it's not that the Colts are going to suck, but they're probably not going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. No, listen, I'm sorry.
Listen,
so it's like kind
we
of
got the
like
same chance that the Bills have because we
know.
all got to go through Kansas City somehow.
It's true. Hey, they look not great so far, so
Yeah, but they do this to us every year.
that's true. They always like, oh, we're shifty and we're good, we're fine.
Yeah, they're always like, oh, first 3 weeks we suck. Check this out, though. Week 18, we ain't sucking.
Putting 52 points up on the board
Jeez.
against the best defense.
Them damn guys. There's a couple Sunday games. There you go.
Is there any other games? We don't have to go over them, but is there any other ones that you're interested in watching?
Yep. Which we won't get, but it's the Chargers and the Vikings.
That is one. Yes, that is. They're both 0-2, and I think this game really decides which one is basically almost done for the season from playoffs, I would say.
Yep.
And then which one is like going to climb out of the hole. This is a really important game for both of these teams.
Yeah, I think it's a shootout.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Indy versus Baltimore. Gardner Minshew is starting at quarterback.
Ooh, I like
Richardson
that.
out. It's going to be. They said the weather is awful for this weekend.
Oh.
It's like a storm, monsoon.
Oh.
So I don't expect a lot of passing,
Yeah.
and I think that gives the Colts a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, because Baltimore, especially since J.K. Dobbins went out, their run game isn't. It's stumbling a little bit because they're still trying to figure out what to do. Lamar Jackson playing like crap, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see.
Odell Beckham is out.
Yeah, a lot of inactives that game. A lot.
Yeah.
And then Buffalo and Washington. I think it'll be a really good game.
I think it could be.
Washington's doing the same thing freaking Tampa's doing, just under the radar,
Yep.
going off. Good for them. With a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So,
You keep on mentioning that.
well, you got to mention it. When somebody's good at their job, which he's done pretty good so far.
Another game I think could be interesting is Atlanta and Detroit. A lot of people, I think, are sleeping on Atlanta, but I think they're playing a lot better than people are giving them credit for. And then Detroit, I really like Detroit, so I think that could be a really good game.
Typical Atlanta team. They're going to let you think that they're good,
Yeah.
and they're going to finish the season like 8-9 or something stupid.
Not even like bad, just mediocre.
Just
In the middle.
in the middle. Never
Yeah.
going to be in line for a good draft pick.
but
Never
never
going to
good
go to the
enough
Super Bowl.
win.
Right, exactly. So that's them.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, Sunday. More games. We're excited.
I love football so much. I'm trying to think of was there any other injuries? I just had it up and totally forgot. We might have mentioned most of them. Oh, Bryce Young is out.
Bryce Young, Austin Eckler,
Yeah, that
out.
sucks.
Jalen Waddle, I think will
Most
be
likely,
out.
wow. Yeah,
Still
will be out.
concussion. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, they can look it up.
I'm not here to give you all the injuries.
No.
though, so
I just want to put a couple
Suck it.
names. I just wanted a couple names out there.
Yeah. So pay attention to your fantasy shit
Yes.
because I'm not going to give you everything. I'm trying to beat some of you, so I can't give everything.
Can't spoon feed you. I said that week one. Can't spoon feed. Don't worry about that. Yo, are we going to our favorite section? Let's get there.
The minute 15.
Minute 15.
Starts and sits. You got your notes this time?
I did exactly what I did last time.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, but I was good last time. Do you want me to go first this time?
You can. I'm not ready.
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right. Whenever you start, I'll start it.
Oh, minute 15. Starts and sits. 3, 2, 1, go. Start. Quarterback, Dak Prescott. I think the matchup is looking really good for that offense. I think you should start him. He'll be okay. Running back, start. Alexander Madison. I know that's crazy, but this is the chopping block. I think he's going to lose or win his job with this game. I think he comes out. I think he does okay. Wide receiver, start Nakua. Wide receiver, rookie of the year. Like, he's going to go off. Tight end, once again, Zach Ertz. Start him. The reason why is Dallas's defense is banged up. 2 of their best defenders are not even playing. Zach Ertz is the best option on that offense. Defense, start the Patriots against the Jets. It seems simple. Going to sits. Sit. Deshaun Watson. He's trash and he knows it. Don't ever play him ever again. Running back, Najee Harris. Why are you hurting me like this? Come on now, sit him. Wide receiver, Garrett Wilson for the Jets. Patriots defense knows what they're doing. Zach Wilson sucks. Tight end, David Njoku. No, it's not going to happen. Defense, sorry, Commanders. I think Buffalo kind of finds their rhythm with the offense again, and the Commanders are going to suffer for it.
Minute 13. Not too bad. Yeah, of course, I don't agree with the start Alexander Madison. He sucks.
I don't believe in that myself, but the only reason why I put him as a start is because it's a chopping block game.
Is it because you're starting him this week?
I am. But it's
he don't care about no chopping block.
It's the final straw. If he does nothing this week, I'm dropping him.
Like rush for 15 yards?
I need him to do something. Catch 3 balls for 25 yards and rush 30 yards. Get me more than 5 points. But that's the only. I think listen. He knows. Minnesota knows. NFL knows. Cam Akers knows. Alexander Madison, if you do not produce in this game, you are regulated back of the line of the running backs on that team.
He's used to the backup role, so
I think he pushes it a little bit. Listen. Look at my eyes. I might be desperate. I might be giving you false narratives about Alexander Madison. It's because he's on my team and I need him to do something. So just allow this one to go through, okay? I get it. Just pray with me that he does well this weekend. Just allow it to happen. I hope he goes off. Oh, it'd be amazing if he goes off. Chargers rush defense is mid.
So when it's 37-37, because they've been passing the ball all game, and Alexander Madison has 30 total yards, you can be freaking out.
Why can't he have 80 reception yards and a reception touchdown?
They ain't throwing that man the ball. He can't even run it.
Listen, early in the game, he can rush the ball against a mediocre rush defense until they start shooting out. And that means he's going to have 50 on the ground, 50 in the air, and a touchdown on each. Boom.
I'm going to call less than 50 yards for Madison. No touchdowns.
I don't not believe you, but you have to will it into existence. It worked for me before. It will work for me again this week.
No, you keep trying to sell this man, and ain't nobody buying it. Nobody buying it.
No, he's on the trade block. I will give you Alexander Madison for a certain draft pick.
Yeah, a 14th maybe.
No,
you're about to drop him.
True.
I ain't giving nothing away.
Kamara needs to come back as soon as possible.
Yeah.
All right, let me get my timer up and get your starts and sits. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
All right. I will hit start when you tell me to.
Ready, set, go. Go. Start. Kirk Cousins. He's one of 2 QBs that throw over 700 yards this season, and he's tied for the league lead in passing touchdowns. Oh. High-scoring game. Start. Brian Robinson. He saw 55% of the snaps last week, The Bills' defense has allowed 6.8 yards per carry this year on the inside runs. Feed him. Start Puka. You got to ride the hot train. Start Sam Laporta. He's played 80% of the snaps, has more than 5 targets per game. Start Jacksonville defense. I think they're going to step up against a weak Texans team. Sit Jordan Love, going against the Saints defense, who has allowed only 350 passing yards, only allowed 1 touchdown, and has 3 picks. Sit James Conner. Dallas defense has held Saquon under 63 total yards, and they held all 3 Jets running backs to single-digit yards last week. Sit Cortland Sutton. He was a main target last week, but he goes against a stingy Dolphins team.
Okay.
Sit Gerald Everett. He's ran fewer routes than Donald Parham. Parham, yeah. This season, I think the trend continues. Rest in peace, Gerald Everett. And sit the Falcons defense. The Lions O-line has only allowed 3 sacks, and Goff only has 1 pick.
Very good. You stopped right at like 115. I like most of your picks. Even Brian Robinson going against my Buffalo Bills. The Bills, for as good as their defense is, their struggle is a rush. Brian Robinson has proven that he's probably that guy on that team anyway.
I mean, he is.
I also almost went with Laporta for the tight end start because he's looking really good for Detroit. Right?
Yeah.
He plays for Detroit, right?
Yep.
But I really like Zach Ertz scenario. The only thing that worries me is the James Conner sit. Neither one of us are a huge James Conner fan. But Micah Parsons, I think, is questionable this weekend. And Trayvon Diggs is out for the season with a torn ACL. Those two, if they're not playing, I think changes the dynamic of that defense, which might allow offenses to produce against them. Not that their defense is terrible without them, but I do think those are the 2 head honchos. They are the boss men of that defense. And without them, I think it's a little bit more of a struggle for that defense.
I think they have enough depth to be just fine.
Okay.
I don't know. You stop Saquon, yeah, you're pretty much full of your whole team. But then you go the next week, and against 3 different running backs, you hold them to single yards. I think last week the Jets had their running backs combined were like 4 total fantasy points.
Yeah.
So until they show me
you're right,
they're going to let a running back go off on him, you gotta sit him.
That's true. I think there's no reason if those 2 are out. Well, I know for one of them is out.
Yeah.
But if they're both not playing, the Cowboys defense is good enough to where there's no reason to panic until they show you you need to panic.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a possibility it does change the dynamic of that defensive side of the ball where it does allow certain things to happen. But like you said, I think their defense is really good, and they have a lot of depth in their defense that it might not even matter.
Yeah.
I like your starts and sits, though.
Starts and sits. There it is.
Kirk Cousins. Start him.
Laney. I'll call you out. I ain't afraid. Yeah. But if he has a bad game, it's because you started him. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's on you. 100%.
That's how it usually happens. You always blame yourself because it's like, oh, I started him in fantasy.
Yeah.
That's why he did bad.
No, I think he's been going off. He continues.
Yeah.
Last segment. Well,
Pick'ems.
Second to last segment. Yeah. Pick'ems. Fantasy Pick'ems. 2 Guys One Fantasy Podcast. Fantasy Football League.
There you go.
I am. Damn it. I write
What?
this shit down everywhere and I forget. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm 5-7.
And I'm 8-4.
8-4.
This week.
I will do better. Well, here, I'll come up with the title right now. I will win Pick'ems this week.
That's the title.
I will win Fantasy Football Pick'ems this week. That's the title because it's the truth. I'm about to go 6-0.
Okay.
I'm going 6-0. I'm calling my shot.
So you thought.
It's me over Hopkins. I'm taking myself.
There.
Haven't taken myself all year.
Okay.
It's me. I'm doing it.
Okay.
I got you beating Allen.
Okay.
I got John beating Dylan
Okay.
until Dylan can prove that he knows how to manage a team.
What is he doing? He had my favorite team.
I know. I
Or
think
one of my
he's
favorite
just-
teams.
His players have just been.
Yeah, he just sucks at fantasy football.
Yeah.
Does he listen?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I got Caldwell ending Josh's undefeated season.
Okay.
I got Walker over CT.
Okay.
Are they all the same right now for you?
Yes, they
Oh
are.
my gosh. Do you have Laney over Brett?
I do.
Okay, well screw that.
You had Laney over Brett, but you want to be different.
Yeah, I gotta be different.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Brett over Laney. Sorry, Laney.
Yeah, I pick exactly the same. I have me over Allen, you over Hopkins, John over Dylan, Colwell over Josh. Although that one's probably going to be a lot closer than we think.
Yeah.
Walker over CT is also probably going to be close. And then I just think Laney, she's being strict this weekend and playing who she needs to play. And I think her losing streak ends and she beats Brett.
She needs a win.
Yeah.
If she loses this week and Brett wins and Caldwell wins,
It's going to be
then
rough.
she's 2 games back
Yeah.
of first, second, and third. So she needs a win. But she won't get it this week because you picked her.
You had Laney winning.
I did. I backed. I can't. We can't be the same.
We can't be the same?
No.
You want me to change one of mine?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's the one.
That's the one. Oh, man. Goodness gracious.
Those pick'ems.
That was quicker because we're all the same.
Yeah.
I like it.
Let's see here. Some questions.
Questions.
John said instead of the Manning cast, we could be the Manly cast. And then I corrected him today and said, how about the unmanly cast?
I like it.
So he likes the idea of a football fan watching the game.
Does he want to be a part of it?
I'm sure he would.
I'm sure he would too.
We
It's
just have to figure out how to set it up and
just another thing to freaking worry about.
yeah. So
Maybe he wants to be involved. Maybe he can help.
not on the books yet.
We're thinking about it. We're thinking about it.
Javier was watching the game last night
Yes.
and he said, CMC got me thinking of his first question.
Oh.
He says, percentage-wise, how much would you say?
It's worded weird. I read it
Okay.
earlier.
Percentage-wise, how much would you say? I'm assuming he meant he makes up the team.
Yeah. I think he's asking percentage-wise what makes up the team from coach and player. There's no punctuation on it.
Thanks,
Javi.
What are you? Dude, you have like a bachelor's and this is how you type?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Unbelievable. I think it's a good mixture for both of them. But I think CMC is a rare talent that we won't see again.
Ever?
Look at what he's done
I mean,
with 2 different teams and 2 different styles of play. I guess not really 2 different of style of play, but
I'll say this because I think you're kind of right. I think Carolina would have benefited playing the style that San Fran does if they wanted to utilize Christian McCaffrey to his full potential. But they didn't, and
Right.
that's why he's not there no more.
But I think it's more. Shanahan can make these plays and do all that, but if it's not CMC, I don't think it's the same.
I think so. I tend to agree. I think it's like 55, 60% player, and then 40 to 45% coach. Because you could have a genius coach, but that means nothing if you don't have a player that's smart enough or athletic enough to do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
Like Saquon Barkley, I love him. I think he's one of the best pure runners. You get him with Kyle Shanahan, Saquon Barkley's not going to be able to play the style that Christian McCaffrey does.
No.
Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, they're not doing that.
Well,
Even
Nick
if the
Chubb
coach
can't.
wants them. Well, maybe backwards he can.
Yeah, I think that's more of a player thing and being in a good system
Yeah,
more than anything.
absolutely.
So they make it work together, but I think it's more CMC.
Yeah, and that's why I think Alexander Madison really goes off this weekend because I think the coach changes his style.
I'll just mute that part so nobody hears it. Second question.
Yes.
Also, watching the game, he says, he said his favorite are the Manning brothers.
Yeah.
He says, which commentators are your favorite? And that's a tough one. Psych. Just kidding. Give me Tony Romo all day, every day.
I love Tony Romo. He is my favorite. Who's he? He's teamed up with. Who's he freaking teamed up with? It's not. It's a. Oh my God.
You can do it.
It's. Oh wait, no. Who? It wasn't. It's not Mike Tirico, is it?
No. What the hell? Mike Tirico sucks.
It was with Al Michaels.
It was with Al Michaels on,
Is it-
on NBC.
Yeah. Is it still with Al Michaels?
Tony Romo doesn't do NBC.
Okay, who is he with?
I don't
No,
know.
it's a. No,
You got Joe Buck and Troy Aikman together. Trash.
I like Joe Buck. I don't like Troy Aikman.
Al Michaels is done this year, right?
He did Thursday Night Football, but he did football with Troy Aikman last year, I thought.
All right. Here, you know what? Hold on, Javi.
Just go through all of them.
Well, that's what I'm about to do.
Because
I'm gonna pull it up
in all
for
honesty,
everybody.
I feel like a lot of the pairings, I like one and I don't like the other. But there is one, and I think it's Tony
You're gonna be
Romo.
mad though
Okay.
when I tell you who's with Tony Romo.
I know, I'm going to be furious.
You're
It's
gonna
on
be
the tip
like-
of my tongue.
Yeah, and I feel like if I give you
A hint?
a hint, you're gonna be like, no. Okay, so we had who did we have last night?
It was Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit.
Okay, cool.
Which I don't dislike Kirk Herbstreit, but their chemistry is not good.
Right.
I almost feel like Al Michaels does not like Kirk Herbstreit.
The other big one, obviously, your Monday night guys with now Troy Aikman and Joe Buck,
Which I like Joe Buck.
don't.
I don't like Troy Aikman that
and
much.
then it's Mike Tirico. Who the hell is he with? Oh, he's with what's his nuts. Now here's a guy.
Oh, fucking. See, maybe that's why I like Mike Tirico,
Aren't they-
because he's with Chris Collinsworth. And
they're
I
the-
hate Collinsworth.
They're together, aren't they? On
yeah,
NBC?
I think you're right.
Okay. Are you ready for your Tony Romo? This guy does it all. NCAA, golf, the Masters.
It's not Bob, is it?
Bob Barker. No, he's dead.
No. I think I'm thinking of the person, but his name is literally
It starts with a J.
John Madden?
No, he didn't make it either.
Oh. Who is it? Just tell me.
Jim Nance.
Oh, I do like Jim Nance. Yeah.
Tony Romo and Jim Nance together.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
How come I couldn't remember Nance?
I don't know. He does it all.
Yeah, I like Jim. They're the best duo, and Tony Romo is amazing.
He just knows what he's talking about.
He has that thing that John Gruden, when he was an announcer that I really liked. He just sits there and it's less about a professional job for him, and it's more about, man, I love talking about football while watching football, and man, that's pretty awesome.
He tells us what the teams are going to do before
Yeah.
they do it.
Have you heard him getting in trouble by the producers?
No.
Man, listen to him, and I guarantee you at least once in the game, he'll be like, oh, the producers are telling me to stop talking about this, or the producers are telling me to stop telling the plays. Like, he says it almost every game, and it's amazingly funny.
Let the man do his job.
The producers, and he calls them out. He's like, oh, the producers are telling me to stop.
Good. Call him out. Screw him. Hopefully that answers your question, Javi.
Who is your favorite all time?
I don't know. All time? Tough. Because I really like this combo with Jim Nance and Tony Romo.
It is really good.
It's a really good combo. It's been a combo for a while now.
Yeah. And they like each other. They have good chemistry.
All time is tough. Definitely not Chris Collinsworth.
I fucking hate him.
Because here's a guy.
There's a way to stick your nose in someone's ass and make it still sound good. He just sounds like he's sticking his nose up someone's ass.
I think
Tony Romo kind of does it, but he's likable in the way he does it.
Now, Collinsworth, the problem with him is he picks these quarterbacks at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
and it's every time. Mm-hmm. This year so far, it's been But he does it to all of them. All the star quarterbacks. If
Yeah.
they're not a star quarterback, he don't
Forget
care.
about it.
Josh Allen, he's like, well, here's a guy. Stat. Oh,
Yeah.
No, we don't care about Josh Allen when he was 7. Chris, thanks, though.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to make this throw right here. Doesn't make the throw. That's all right. He'll make the next one.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. Look at this backwards pass.
Patrick Mahomes is the worst with him.
It was a halfback toss. That's what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
No, I think he just picks and chooses
Who he likes
who he likes.
and who he wants to gargle.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like. Oh my gosh, I had his name and it's gone. The one that died from cancer a few years ago. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't know if I do.
Stewart. Scott Stewart.
Oh, Scott Stewart?
Yeah,
I don't think he
did.
called games for ESPN.
Well, I'm kind
Stuart
of
Scott?
I'm kind of
Isn't it
Stuart
Stuart
Scott. Yeah, I'm kind of going by Javi's method of calling games because the Manning brothers aren't necessarily
Not like
commentators. Yeah,
Right. They're just players.
So if I had
but-
to choose one overall, I really like Stuart Scott. But calling games, it's Jim Nantz and Tony Romo.
It's just anybody with Jim Nantz, really. I like Jim
He
Nantz
knows
too.
what he's doing.
Yeah.
And
I
Tony
think
Romo
they
sounds like
just
he's
work it
having the
out.
time of his life.
Yeah. They make it good.
Boom. We got anything else?
Nope. That's it.
Man, we kind of talked about commentators and analysts a little bit longer than I was expecting. Should I go on a rant about Aaron Rodgers again?
No.
Oh,
See, when they ask questions, then
there it is. You get a little extra content. Go to our Patreon to get more.
yeah. I didn't check the Instagram. I don't know if anybody asked anything on there.
I didn't see any.
Screw 'em.
Although Laney keeps on sending us funny messages on Instagram. Have you seen them?
No.
You haven't?
No.
They're really funny. So I would check them out.
No questions, though?
No questions.
Irrelevant. Start Kirk Cousins.
Start.
That's all I got.
Oh, man. That's all I got. So
See?
follow us, subscribe, like, vote,
Same thing.
send us money on Patreon.
All,
Thursday, we're going to have the Manning cast, Unmanly cast.
nope.
We got some big things coming your way. Am I just saying that? That's not.
Yeah.
None of that's true, is it?
No.
Oh,
not at
none
all.
of it's true. Never
He's
mind.
lying. Thanks for watching. See ya.
I'm gonna sing it again. I'm not going to.
Thanks everyone for listening to Two Guys, One Fantasy Podcast. Please give us a like, a follow, a subscription on anything. Just look us up on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter at Two Guys, One Fantasy Podcast. Thanks.